Hello, guys. Good afternoon. I am so excited. My name is Susan, and I am the host of Women Wired to Win. And I am super excited for this week's podcast episode. And you guys, I have a really special guest today. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about her, and then I'm going to bring my friend on here in just a second. And so today we're actually going to be talking about all things money. And I met this gal a few months ago, just through other ventures, and we've become fast friends. And she is an accountant and a tax strategist for the last 15 years. And she's actually helped multi-million and multi-billion dollar companies. And she's also been, to grow teams of people. And for the last 8 years, she has been growing her own tax business. And she's going to be talking to us all things money today, guys. So get excited. Grab a paper, grab a pencil. And also, if you've got a girlfriend that's in business for herself, make sure that you tag her or that you share this video with her, share this podcast with her, because we're going to be talking about a lot of amazing things. And so what I'd like to do right now is bring Nailea on today to share with you guys. So I want you to give her lots of hearts, lots of thumbs up. And so I'm going to bring her on right now. Welcome to the show, Nailea. So listen, my friend, I am so excited to have you. So first of all, what I want to say is thank you for taking time today, because I know that you've got a super busy schedule. And so I just want to say thank you for taking some time to be with us today and to share with our audience. And so what I'd love for you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is just go ahead and share with the girls a little bit about your background and your journey and what, inspired you to pursue a career in, bookkeeping and accounting.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for having me, Susan. It's been great to get to know you and work with you over the last few months. And so a little bit about myself. I love talking about my parents, and it's why I'm here today, right? In many ways. But my parents came on a boat from Cuba in 1980. Okay, they did what I consider to be the complete unthinkable, right? My mom was 15, my dad was 18, my mom was pregnant. I don't know how they got the courage to get on a boat at 3:00 in the morning in the middle of the night, not really knowing where they were going to end up, right? And 12 hours later, be on the shore of the United States. And that's the beginning of my journey. That's the beginning of who I am. And that is what I use to, as my stronghold, as my, as what propels me forward every single day. So my dad was always an entrepreneur. He was a total engineer's mind, and he could build, anything, an AC unit, a motor, whatever. And so our whole lives, my parents always had some kind of small business, and it was always a family affair. So I could tell you from elementary school age, we had a snack machine vending business, right, in Miami, Florida, where I grew up.
That's so cool.
I was literally selling Cheetos after school to all my neighbors, Twix bars. I had a little, like a little butter container that was cleaned out and empty. That's where the change would go. And I would give people change. And before I knew how to do anything, I knew how to count money.
Oh my gosh, I love it. It's great. It's so good.
Yeah. So I was always like selling all the Twix and Cheetos and Doritos and stuff that we had in the house for the vending machines. And after school, my mom would leave me like a list of how to pack the cardboard box for the vending machine and so location that they were going to take the next day. So it's funny, I never had traditional chores. I actually never remember cleaning my room as a child, but it's not because anybody did it for me. I know it's because my mom did it for me, or my grandma, because we were a 3-generation home as well. But I know that like after school, the things that I really did and enjoyed doing was like packing up the coins and the little, wraps with my dad. And so, I mean, even from there, my mom worked at a garlic factory, and I peeled garlic at home with the rest of the family, then they went into like a factory. We had like a little factory, like adjacent to our house to make clothes, and I would tag it for Sears. Right. Like it was just so many experiences that opened up my mind to just keep trying. Like my dad, looking back, I don't know how they did it, how they made ends meet, how we always had food on the table. Our Christmases were always great. I grew up in a 2-parent household. I'm so blessed. We went to church on Sundays. It was just like, for looking back, I loved it, right? It was such a great experience. And that really grew in me a love for entrepreneurship, right? A natural love for entrepreneurship and love for finances and money and just making. And my parents were always very communicative about money when it came to what, how much this was making, how much that was making, and how much things cost, right? In a kind of very non-traditional way,
Yeah.
Because we all had to put in the work for all of us to keep a roof over our head. Right. And I didn't even know I was doing that. It was just my everyday life.
Right.
So I went on to, I always thought I was going to be a doctor. I don't know. And then I got to high school and I learned about an internship at a bank to be a bank teller. And I that was my first job. I was 15 and I was a bank teller.
Wow.
And I felt like the boss. Like I was making way more than my friends because it was a paid internship. I was like, this is amazing. I am always doing something money related.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided that I was going to study finance. And I got my undergraduate degree in finance, and I have my master's degree in business administration, concentration on finance and tax. And I've always loved talking about budgeting, money, tax. I think that it's inspirational to me that my parents just always kept trying. And so many things in our lives have just allowed me to have the opportunity to help other people, especially immigrants, and women in business, in particular Latina women, to grow and better understand their money and really take that information and do something with it.
Yeah, I mean, truly, Nailea, I think it's just across the board. I don't think that we teach our youth really the importance of money and budgeting. I mean, just in general, right? And so for so many people, it seems like such a, what they might say, oh my gosh, either it's a boring subject or it's like a confusing subject. But oh my gosh, no, it's like when you can take control of that part of your life, like the budgeting part of your life, and even in your business. I've been an entrepreneur myself for 31 years. And, I can't tell you how many people I've met over the years in business that are just not really great with that. Right. And so sometimes we need help. And so, which brings me kind of to my next question. And so I'd love for you just to share a little bit about, what are the common financial mistakes you see entrepreneurs make, in business, especially obviously we're talking to our women here, but really any entrepreneur.
Right. Yeah. And I'm thinking like two major things that I want to say about this. The first thing is that I've always had people come to me asking for help on creating their business. They want to do the right thing in the right order, right? And I think this is such a misconception because people want to get their tax ID, which is their EIN number, set up their business bank account, get the business cards, do the website, get the logo, do the marketing material, do all of the, all of the administrative things first settled, right? And then start thinking about selling something. And that's the complete opposite of how this needs to go, right? When people come to me and ask me for this kind of help, my only question is, have you made money yet? If the answer is no, then my answer is, well, then you don't need me yet, okay? It's so important. Just go out, focus on what you do. Do what God has given you the discernment for doing, and go out and do that. Sell it. You don't have to have a tax ID. You don't have to have a sole proprietorship or an LLC or an S Corp. You don't have to have anything to start selling. You could go right outside and pick up my lipstick and sell it to somebody. And you made it, you did something. So you need to start making money, and then you can figure out all the administrative things. It's really a big deal. I think that's the biggest thing.
Are you there? Are you there?
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
Hold on one sec. You froze on me.
Can you still see?
Okay. So we're going to give her just a quick second here. Hold on.
Hey, Susan, can you still see me? I'm here.
I can see you. Hold on. Just give a second. It's okay. Let me just double check our connection here online as well. Okay. Are you there? You know what? If you want to do me a favor, Nailea, if you want to just hop off and hop back on. There you are. There you are.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So right back to it. Yeah. The next big thing that I would say for common mistakes is investing in the wrong things. And I'm not talking about financial planning. I'm talking about yourself. I'm talking about buying a $2,000 computer, thinking that that's going to better your business or make you money. When truly what's going to make you money is investing into your brain, investing into your skills, investing into your confidence. You know, I've seen so many people just buying stuff. Oh, buying this membership, buying this software, that computer. And what's the return on investment? The ROI. It's a very common finance term, right? ROI. It's kind of used everywhere now. But truly, there's no better return on investment than your brain. So instead of spending money on a computer, why don't you take a class? Why don't you get a license, get a skill, pay a consultant, get into a business group that's going to benefit you to grow your brain, because no one can take that away from you.
Oh my gosh, that is so brilliant. Oh my gosh, I love it. And it's so true. And it's funny, my husband could appreciate what you're saying because, well, I can appreciate what you're saying because my husband's always wanting me to get like a better this or a better that. I'm like, you know what? And there's a time for that. There is a time for that, right? As you're growing and building. But the point is, what I'm hearing you say is just get started, just get moving. And when you have opportunities to better yourself and better your skill set, that's the better place to invest in your money, right? So for example, if you're a direct seller network marketer, maybe your company offers events so that you can, grow your skill set, or maybe you're looking into a coaching opportunity to be in the space of somebody that's doing what you want to do. And so I think that's what I'm hearing you say, investing in those things first so that you can grow yourself. And then there'll come a time when you can always get the better. Guys, I've been in direct sales for 30 years. I've been in the online space for probably the last 8 to 10 years. And I just finally got myself a really nice webcam and a microphone. Okay. But I just made it work. And people can, sometimes what happens is we just get so stuck or caught up with, I got to have the best things in order to get started. My husband and I just had this conversation. He's going to giggle because I'm getting ready to throw him under the bus on this one. He has got such an entrepreneurial brain, just like myself. And he's so creative. And he's like, he loves to like paint and do like photography and pictures. And he always has a really great idea. And I said, somebody could probably pay him just for his ideas. We've talked about that, but he's like, I need to go out and get like a $2,000 camera. And I said, honey, I can teach you how to take really great pictures and videos using your phone, right? Let's just get the business going first. And I think that's what I'm understanding you to say. It's like, and like maybe he needs to take a class in building a photography brand or business, right? Rather than spending the money and investing on the expensive equipment right up front, right? Is that what you're saying? Oh, are you there? Did I lose you again? Hold on. We'll give her a second to come back. So, so hopefully that's helpful, girls. And I know that Nailea is still there. There she is. Okay. So what I want to do next is I'd love for you to share with everybody, what are some practical budgeting tips that you can share for women that are starting or running their own business? And so if you can hear me on that. No. Are you there? Okay, let's see here. I know I hopped off of Wi-Fi here. I think I'm good. I think you might be frozen there on me. Oh, okay. We're going to give her a second to come back. Hey, guys, while we're waiting for Nailea to come back, I'd love to answer any questions that you might have so far, or maybe just share something that you've learned that you are going to implement so far. But please stay tuned. Okay, let me let her back in. Okay, there we are.
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's okay.
I don't know what's going on. Out of our control.
It is. I mean, sadly it is. And usually I'm the one that it's happening to. So I totally understand. No worries at all.
Like, I don't know what's going on.
You know what? We live in an imperfect world, and that's okay, because you've got really good information that these girls need to hear. So tell us about, again, some practical budgeting tips that you can share for women that are starting or running their own business.
Yeah, absolutely. I've talked to so many women in different areas of their life, whether it's just in your house and not related to even business. And it's just, but I always tell them it's clarity is key. And something that I learned in school from my bachelor's degree is cash is king. Clarity is key and cash is king. The end, right? If we take it back to that, the simple act of knowing what's going on in your life, in your bank account, and in your business will propel you forward. So if you know how much money is leaving your account every month, how much it takes to pay the bills, how much money is coming in every day, and how much debt you have. If you know that and check in on those numbers at least once a week, then just knowing, having the clarity is going to propel you forward.
Yeah.
That's my,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, yeah.
Oh, any apps that you could maybe recommend? I mean, I know what I use, but.
Sure. So I am a super simple person when it comes to all of this from the start. I don't know. Like, I'm all about using an app if it works for you. But when it comes to your business, it's so important to just keep it simple. And the parts of the business that you're not an expert in, don't go about it. I tell people, open up Google Sheets. Okay. Start.
I think we lost you again. Hold on one sec. This is good stuff. Okay. All right. So let's see. Oh, just a sec. You're coming back. Hold on.
Good. No.
Okay. Let me just see if there's any questions coming in. Small beginnings, but such an. Okay. There you are. Hold on. Are you there? Okay, guys. There we are. Okay. Yeah. So I love some of the comments I'm seeing here. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love the comments I'm seeing here. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just that it's critical to keep track of your expenses. Open up a Google Sheets, put expenses, and literally just type in the date, what it was, and the amount, what it was for, and what it was for. Make a note what it was for. You're just keeping track of your expenses and keeping track of your income. I sold a lipstick for $5 on this date to this person, or what, or even, and you're just literally putting it all in a Google Sheet. Like, you don't have to overthink it. Keep it money simple, money coming in, money coming out. There's this wonderful thing in taxes called startup costs. And this means that you can keep track of all of your expenses before you've made any money, right? Like, let's say you've been starting up, direct selling or whatever it is that you're doing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just spending money, right? I'm driving my car to all these places to meet with these people. Haven't made a sale yet. Well, you should be keeping track of how many miles you're driving, right? Mm-hmm. What the odometer reading is on your car, and what expenses you're spending on to make this happen, to try to make your business happen. All of those expenses can be expensed on your taxes, on your personal tax return, without ever having a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a tax ID, none of it. You don't need any of it. And you can expense that.
Right. Absolutely. And so thinking about that, because I did come to you recently, when would somebody want to maybe consider something like that, like an LLC or an S Corp? Or
I would say when you start making money, when you start making at least $600 in the year, mm-hmm. is when you want to say, okay, if I've made $600 or thereabouts, I'm doing something. I'm feeling the jet propulsion here. I'm going forward. I'm doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and get a sole proprietorship, get my EIN on the IRS website. And then I'm going to register in whatever state you're in for your business, right? You're going to get it could just be whatever the business name is. Don't overthink it. And I'm not saying go crazy at that point, but you can getting an EIN is the way to have a business bank account. So, and I would say, try to find a free bank account, try to find an online bank account, be frugal, right? Be frugal about the startup costs. There's no reason to go 100%, 100 miles an hour when you haven't made that money yet. Mm-hmm. So again, just focusing on selling first, and then getting all the administrative stuff in order.
Yeah. So I know that also you kind of touched on this a little bit, but just how can women overcome that intimidation often associated with the financial management? Because I know that sometimes it could be overwhelming for people. And I know that you said, just keep it simple, right? Using spreadsheets, Google Sheets, you can use, I guess you could use something like QuickBooks, although I don't know if there's a free version of that anymore or not, but anything that you could add to that as far as that intimidation that women often feel or feel associated with the financial management of their business. Oh, I think you froze on me again.
Let's see.
It's okay. That's all right. No worries. Okay. So one of the things I can say while we're waiting for Nailea to come back is, so, for myself, she's been super helpful with just trying to figure out, sometimes what happens is we want to figure out like, okay, even for myself this year, okay, should I be an LLC? Should I be an S Corp? And I'm going to have, when Nailea returns, she'll be back here in just a second, guys, really telling you the difference between the two, because there are some great ways that you can be saving some money as a business owner as you continue to grow your business. Okay, there you are. Just telling a little bit about, how you've helped me with just trying to make a decision, even between as you're growing and as you're building even more and you're starting to make more money, which could be years down the road. It's okay. But really, what is that difference between an LLC and an S Corp? Because we do have some women that are watching that might be making six figures or more. So, what would you say to them? I was, like I said, I was one of those people that really didn't know the difference between them and what the advantages would be between each.
Just to keep it real simple on that. The main thing is if you're making more than $50,000 net income. So that means that your revenue or your top line, what you're selling, let's say you're selling $100,000 and your expenses are $50,000 and you're left with $50,000 at the end of the year. Then you're in a good position to become an S corporation. Okay. Until then, I would just stick with an LLC. So just to give you an easy rule.
Okay. And I know that you're saying an easy rule, but just, is it because there's obviously more expenses involved with the S Corp, right?
There's more expenses involved with the S Corp, but the benefit of an S corporation is that you are saving on taxes. Because you're paying yourself, you have to pay yourself what the IRS deems a reasonable wage under an S corporation. And that's in the accounting tax world between like 35 and 40% or 50% of what your business makes. So you're paying yourself that amount and you're paying payroll taxes on that amount. And then on what's left over, then you're not paying payroll taxes on that and you're saving money by not paying payroll taxes on the amount left over. So there are more administrative fees, including much higher tax fees at the end of the year if you have an S corporation, because of the type of tax forms that have to be filled out for you. So to keep it simple, if you're making under $100,000 a year in your business, I would probably stick with an LLC. That's going to be the most tax advantageous. Until then.
But there's not really any real tax advantages per se, just because you're an LLC. I think sometimes people think, well, if I have an LLC, I'm getting additional tax breaks.
That's a great point. An LLC is not tax related at all. An LLC has to do with the law, right? Your limited liability. You're limiting your liability to be sued. I am definitely no lawyer or attorney. I can't speak to that. The IRS doesn't care that you're an LLC.
Oh, this is that, guys.
It's all
we were doing so good.
It's all the same. Yeah. Sole proprietor and LLC is the same together.
Right. So for example, if you were somebody, let's just say that you were somebody that was in the house flipping business and you wanted to buy homes, but you wanted to have your business under an LLC, and maybe you had another business or whatever, it really comes down to just being, it's protecting you in a way that if anything were to happen or go wrong, I mean, just in any general way, my husband was an LLC for his paint contracting business. So it just kind of protects you, and it also protects your personal finances. It's kind of what I'm kind of understanding there with that. And guys, we will wait for Nailea to come back, and we're going to be just have a couple more questions I want to ask her, because a couple really important things that we're going to want to know here as we close up today. But the most important thing, guys, if you do have some questions and you'd like to get connected to um, Nailea, we're going to give you that information as well. Okay, I'm going to bring her back on here. Okay. I was just basically saying, it really does come down to just the legal aspects of the LLC and protecting you and those kind of things. But okay, let's just go on to a couple last questions here. How can entrepreneurs build strong relationships with their accountants and bookkeepers? Like what's going to because you can get on the naughty list with your bookkeeper and your accountant at the end of the year. I'm just teasing, but I'm joking.
What's great is that a lot of the times, like accountants and financial people and bookkeepers, we're really super analytical people. And I'm not speaking for everybody, but maybe for myself, I just kind of can see a circumstance and I can see the A plus B equals C really quickly, and not, as for accountants and financial people, we have to remember that there is so much emotion tied to money, that taking that into consideration is really important, and getting someone that is going to be on your team that understands your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, why you're doing what you're doing is going to help that relationship, build that relationship. I would say, go into every relationship in your business as an emotional relationship, not a transactional one. Even your accountant and your bookkeeper, they're doing something very technical for you, very, A plus B equals C kind of. But if they understand your motives and your wants and your goals, then they're going to do their best for you. They're going to look out in your best interest. And that's something that's really important. So I think it's just remembering that, I don't know, we're people too, like I love numbers. I know this sounds crazy, but I like to just read the tax code. I just like to get into it, get my hands like dirty in the tax code and figure out what's going on, because I like to make complex things simple for people.
Yeah.
And that's the gift that God gave me. Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I want to serve. And that's what we're here for. It's not, we don't work. Work is not who I am. It's where I get to serve.
Yeah.
And so it's exciting for me to do that. And I guess it's just remembering that everybody is blessed in their own way and remembering to just build that relationship.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And I love that. And you've been so easy to work with, and you've just so sweet. I love it. But just, thinking about end of year stuff though, like what does your, tax accountant and bookkeeper, what do they really want to see? Because I think sometimes we probably give way more than we actually need to. Can be like bottom line numbers. Like what exactly do they want from you at the end of the year? Like what would be the things that you'd want to track to give to them?
I want to make sure I'm not cutting off.
Oh, hold on. Quick second, guys. Intermission, quick break. Let me let her get unfrozen. Okay. And I'm not sure. I think she's still there. And I'm not sure, like on my end, I am all good. So I don't know if it's my internet connection that's dropping you, Nailea, and I'm so sorry if that's the case. We're going to give you just a second to answer that question. Let me just remove her for a minute. Guys, any questions that you have right now that you'd like to ask Nailea as she is coming back with us? Can you drop those in the comments? If you're watching on YouTube, I can see your comments there. If you're watching on Facebook, I can still see your comments. Anything that you want to share, any questions that you have, please go ahead and let us know. And I'm going to bring her back on here. Oh, not yet. Okay. So go ahead and drop those in the comments for us. And also, if you're taking some notes, you can connect with Nailea at Sunflower Financials is the name of her business. And we are going to drop her link in the comments when we're done here today. But she does offer CFO and accounting services, whether you need them monthly or yearly, or maybe you just need her to help you with a few things. Okay, let me bring her back on here. Okay. All right, my friend. So I don't remember what I asked you. Okay, really quickly, list of what someone will need for their accountant.
Yeah. Something that I really want to say is that earlier this year, I went to a tax conference that goes on every year, and the IRS had a panel there. I was lucky enough to be able to talk to the IRS directly, the leaders of the IRS. And something that's so important for people to understand is that the IRS hasn't gotten funding over the last 12 years, and they have recently got funding from our recent president, the recent government, right? So there is funding now in the IRS. What that means is that they can hire people, and they can hire people to finally send out all the notices that have been backed up, and all the piles of documents and things that are backed up. They have people to process them. What does that mean for you? Is that it's more likely you're going to get a notice from the IRS. Does it mean you have to freak out? No. I just want everybody, and do not ignore it. That's my biggest message. If you get a letter from the IRS, do not ignore it. And also know the IRS will never call you. They will never ask you for your social. They will never, no one's ever going to just ping you or email you and ask you for, or text you and ask you for personally identifiable information. That's a big sign of scams. So no.
Yeah.
But I would say that, for the end of the year, you want to make sure that everything that you have is something you can source. So, where are the expenses that you've used for your business? What money have you made? Just keep a file folder, maybe keep an electronic folder of the documents that you have, the receipts that you've received, those kinds of things, so that you can get a good handle on your taxes and your end of the year information. One of the biggest things that people don't really know about yet is tax planning. And that is where you talk to a tax analyst or a tax expert before the end of the year. Sometimes what I do is I have specific clients where I talk to them every quarter, right? And we kind of review, or sometimes I'll do a one-time review that I charge $147 for. It's a one-time review of all of your taxes. I ask for 2 prior years, ask for a current status of where you are, and then I give some tax advice. So I'll give a full tax plan, tax advice for the year. And that can happen at any time. You don't have to wait until it's all done and then you can't take it back. You kind of want to stay ahead of things and do that. So that I stay ahead, ask questions, multiple questions. If you talk to one person and you're like,
okay, I did have one more question. We're going to wait for her to come back here again. Just a second. I want to double check, make sure we don't have any questions. And we're going to close out here with one final question. And then I'm going to also give you, like I said, Nailea's information. So if you need to contact her, you can. And let me just see if she's here. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. So what I wanted to say is the question that I had for her, we'll maybe I'll just have her record a little video for us and bring that. I can share it with you guys a little later. And so again, Nailea is the owner of Sunflower Financials, and we will drop a link in the comments to her YouTube channel, as well as her services that she can offer to you. So if you are in business for yourself, or you're a network marketer, or you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for someone to help you with that tax advice, I highly recommend Nailea. She's really helped me so much with just my questions, because I don't know about you, but I hate having search for answers, especially when you have different times in your business when things change and seasons change, or maybe you're starting to make a little bit more money. Okay, we're going to bring her on for one final question today. And so what I'd love for you to share is, when should somebody consider hiring an accountant or bookkeeper, and what should they be looking for?
I think that if you're spending too much time working on your books, if you don't know where money's coming in and out from, and you're feeling really overwhelmed, you should probably contact someone. From a financial perspective, it's really just contacting more than one individual. I would say you would source anything. You want to make sure you're comparing pricing, but you're also comparing fit. You want to make sure that the personality is someone that you really want to work with, and someone that understands your needs. And so I would definitely say that it very much depends on how you're feeling. If you're feeling really lost, and you're making money and you're spending money, but you really don't know where at the end of the day where things are going, that's a good time to talk to somebody.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. Well, guys, that is Nailea. And so we are excited that you joined us today. And if you're able to, I don't know if you can drop in the comments where if somebody wanted to reach out to you, or maybe schedule a consultation or take a look at the services that you have to offer. Again, guys, as I shared, I absolutely recommend Nailea. I think she's been super helpful, and you've given us so much to think about today. So we do thank you for being on the show today. And were you able to find that where you can drop that? If not, we can drop it in the comments after. And any closing thoughts that you'd like to share with everyone before we let you go today? Or anything that you'd like to share about what you offer?
I'm so sorry for all the connection issues. That was such a bummer, but life happens. So just as in general, I do, I offer tax planning, tax strategy, and then taxes at the end of the year or throughout the year. And for bigger ticket, my bigger ticket item is more of a fractional CFO service. But for an ongoing basis for businesses that are making, less than $500,000 a year, basically, ongoing accounting, bookkeeping. So we do that in my firm. We have bookkeepers and that are going to work with you one-on-one and make sure that everything that needs to get done gets done for your quarterly and yearly taxes. So we're kind of we want to focus on having simple reporting and making really efficient processes, and all while working with people that you really want to work with and that you're not afraid to talk to, not afraid to ask questions. So I really like to work with anyone that's willing to listen and learn, and I love that. So keep growing, take a chance. Your business, the world, and don't doubt that. That's what I want to say for sure.
Yeah. Well, I love it. And thank you again. And guys, can we give some hearts and some thumbs up for Nailea, please? And thank you so much for being my beautiful guest today. And again, we will drop in the comments a link if you'd like to reach out to Nailea for her services or maybe just schedule a consultation. Again, thank you, my friend, for being with us today. And I'll be seeing you real soon. Guys, have an amazing week. And we'll see you for next week's episode of Women Wired to Win. Bye, guys.